Hello, hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, I create content on self-improvement. So if you're interested in that, if you like my content, please be sure to subscribe. I'll appreciate. Today I thought we should talk about a journey that I embarked on some months ago, and that is healing your inner child. I thought I should talk to you guys about some of the things that I'm learning concerning healing your inner child. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so first of all, why is it important that we embark on this journey of healing our inner child? If you as a child went through something traumatic, and something traumatic can be to varying degrees, it may affect how you view your reality right now as an adult. For example, if you were brought up in a family where your caregivers used to fight a lot, you may associate love to chaos. And so unconsciously, when you're dating or in your current reality, you may unconsciously be attracting chaos, thinking that it is love. Every single thing we do is filtered from that sense of who that child was. Your body remembers trauma even before your mind does. Your body remembers trauma. Every single thing you have been through is ingrained somehow in your body, and your mind is built to protect you. So any situation in your current reality that triggers something that was traumatic that you went through as a child may cause you into a whole fuss, and maybe even depression, anxiety. That's when all these other things start to come up. It's important that we heal that inner child so that the reality we have right now is not affected negatively. Okay, so the first thing I'd want us to understand is that our parents did not neglect our emotional needs out of malice. They were just incapacitated. And the reason why I'm insisting on this, and I insist on this in every one of my videos, is to let go of that blame. You can't keep blaming your parents forever for not meeting your emotional needs. Because of the capitalist system and the hustle culture we live in, they were constantly out there, hustling. And that's why they may not have had the capacity to be there for us as we thought. I like to insist on this, to let go of that guilt, the self-blame, the constant criticizing, the constant complaining. Listen, your parents did what they could with what they had, with the amount of knowledge they knew, and they did their best. They did the best they could with what they had. So this one I had to learn the hard way, and it is really understanding that you're constantly gonna need that, but you're always gonna need that validation from your parents. I used to get so mad at myself these past couple of months, and I feel like there's nothing as bad as being angry at yourself for being angry, because I always felt so bad, and I'd be so mad at myself because I'm like, how comes I am not able to move on? How comes I feel so sad about the fact that my caregivers will never really understand me for who I am? They'll never appreciate my gifts and my talents, and I'll always be an extension of them. How comes I feel so bad that I need this validation from them? How comes I feel so bad that I need my mom to look me in the eyes and tell me you're beautiful, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're awesome, you're gifted, you're talented? How comes I still need this? I'm a big girl, right? And it really took me a while to understand that inner child within you will always crave that validation. They'll always crave that love. They'll always crave that feeling of being understood. Even if you decide to cut them off your life completely, you as a human being are always gonna want that feeling of belonging, that feeling of being validated. And so it's okay. It's okay that you want it and they do not provide it. I wish I knew this sooner, because I would always feel so bad when every time I think about being validated by my parents, and I watch all these self-improvement videos on YouTube, and they're talking about you don't need any other person's validation apart from your own. But I'm like, wait a minute, why does it hurt? Why does it feel this way? Why am I angry? Why am I sad? It's because you're always gonna need that validation. You're gonna need them to recognize your gifts. You're gonna need them to recognize you for who you are, and it's okay. Just realize that it's okay. Okay, so how do you heal your inner child? As you're looking at me right now, there's something that you can remember that happened in your childhood, maybe, that you still remember, and it's something that probably really hurt you. So here's what you can do. You need to sit down in a meditative position and start to recount the events of that specific traumatic experience. Right? Recount them. See yourself, see your caregiver maybe screaming at you, shouting at you, or insulting you, abusing you sometimes. See what that situation was, right? And visualize it vividly in your mind. As you do that, you tap into that inner child and you start to recognize their emotions. How do they feel at that point? How are they feeling? You're probably scared, you're probably sad, you're probably crying. Visualize that place you're in, and then now visualize your adult self looking at that inner child. What would you have wanted to be told at that specific point in your life? When someone was screaming at you, making you scared, what would you have wanted to hear? For me, a lot of the times I realized I grew up with a lot of fear, a lot of fear. And the one thing my inner child has always wanted to hear is, you're safe. You're safe. You're safe. And so when I visualize that, I see my adult self standing there and telling that inner child, that baby that is seated there so frustrated, and reminding them, honey, you're safe. You're okay. You're calm. You're safe. You're fine. You're free. You're loved. You're important. And you remind them until you can feel, because you trust me, you feel that energy. You feel that your inner child is really feeling safer, a bit safer, you know. So I need you to do that exercise. Literally sit down, visualize that traumatic experience you had. And it doesn't even have to be something really traumatic. It's something maybe that hurt you. So recount that situation and tell them what they needed to hear at that specific point. That is healing. Reaffirm that inner child. Remind them that they are safe, they are loved, they are important, they are valuable, they are worthy. And you really look at them. You can even touch them in your visualization. Yeah, you can touch them, you can touch their face, you can hug them, you can kiss them. Do something to connect with that baby inside you, because she's there and she's real and she needs you, you know. That is the validation that you needed from your parent, and now your adult self is giving that to you. I realized, for me, I grew up with a lot of fear, like I mentioned, instability and a lack of clarity. That was mostly my environment growing up. And so when I do this exercise, I go back to remind that child that she belongs somewhere, she's valuable, you're lovely, and you are safe. Oh my God, that really works for me when I'm like, I'm safe, because I was just in panic mode half the time, you know. So being able to talk them out that way, it really helps. I would advise you to be consistent with it. Like do it maybe daily for like 20 days or for like 2 weeks. Do it daily. It really works. It works like magic, I'm telling you. Okay, so listen. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel resentment towards your caregivers for not being who you expected them to be. Did you hear me? It's okay that you feel that way towards them. It doesn't spell any finality. Let me tell you, when it comes to emotional intelligence, being angry at yourself for being angry or being sad that you're sad is what makes it worse. So start to validate yourself. What we're doing here, by the way, is just validating ourselves. That validation that our parents didn't give us is what we are starting to give to ourselves right now. So start to validate your own emotions. That when you feel angry at your secondary or primary caregiver for not doing this or the other, you sit there and you tell yourself, it's okay that I feel this way. It's actually valid that I feel this way. In fact, give yourself reasons as to why it's okay to feel that way. Being able to validate your emotions is like the core. It's like the core rock of everything. I'm telling you. Just learn to tell yourself, it's okay that you feel fear right now. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. Just sit in it and sit there and be like, I'm scared. My inner child is scared. And it's okay. It's valid. I want you to start to view your inner child as your child. Literally that. Your child. Start to call them that. Your child. They're your child, your baby. How would you take care of your son or daughter right now who is injured and wounded like you are as a baby? Take care of them that way. Journal to them. Write a letter to them. This may sound ridiculous and you're probably looking at me like, huh? Honey, try it for 2 weeks. Realize that you're always gonna need this validation from your parents and your caregivers, but because they are here to stay, this is gonna be a constant journey. That validating yourself, looking yourself in the mirror and going, I am smart, I am beautiful, I am confident, I am lovely, I have awesome gifts. It's gonna be something that you're gonna be doing. It's like this wheel that will never stop rolling, because your parents, even though you would like it, even though you would beg for it, they will never ever change to suit your needs. Did you get me? They will never ever change to suit your needs. That happens 0.01% of the time. Most times it's you to let go of that self-blame, to be compassionate with yourself and to forgive them. The most important thing is being able to validate those feelings, because I promise you, once you validate those feelings, automatically you find yourself validating that person in your mind who hurt you, and you're gonna look at them like a human being, look at them like a flawed human being, and really be like, you know what, they tried their best, they did the best with what they knew. The much I can do right now is to let go of that self-blame and to forgive them and to validate myself. Here's the last thing towards healing your inner child. Do the things that excited you when you were a child. All those things that people deemed your light, start to do them. I loved to sing. I sing every day. You'll find me here in my house singing because I loved it. Start to do those things that fueled you as a baby. Do them and do them diligently. That inner child ends up feeling validated, and you realize you don't fall into the traps of people's pleasing and whatever, because you have given that validation to yourself before anybody else does. Remember that, especially in relationships, whenever you find yourself feeling triggered by something, whenever you find, even if it's a friendship, platonic, romantic, whenever you find yourself feeling triggered by something someone else has done, that is a redirection to your inner child. Something happened, your body still remembers, your mind is trying to protect you, and so you're triggered. Okay? I love you so much. Please be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Mwah! Bye.
You don't need to water it down. No one else has the same story.